Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I've got a great video for you today if you love farming. Wanaka Farms. It's a beautiful looking game. It hasn't been released yet, but it's getting close. It's getting close. They've got a good trailer. Let's just show you the trailer. Let's just show you what they've just released in the trailer if you haven't seen it yet. Nice little jingle too. I'm certainly getting some farm together vibes. And what's going on with those cows? Definitely getting some farm together vibes. Look at those fish over there too. Farm together, but you get paid to do it. And I love the fact that you plant animals. I think this may be it may be changing, because I've certainly seen some animals maybe more in pens and stuff at a later date. So that might have been like early access. The way they just got some immortal land out of the blue box. I think I would be on the floor if I got some immortal land. Okay, wasn't that a nice looking game? Like, just a great little trailer. Covered a lot in a basic way. Day-night settings. Certainly planting and harvesting. Also the way of taking the genetics of your animals or your plants or your harvest, I guess, your crops, and genetically putting them together, either making food or making some produce from it, or putting them back in and getting an enhanced breed. So there's some of the things that certainly come up with it. One of the features that isn't shown in the game, but I know it's there, is also farming with friends, like farming together. So part of the game as well is, if you do not own land, you can still go on other people's land and farm their land and get paid for the services of actually doing the work for them. So that's a way of actually sort of generating a smaller amount of income, getting into it, and potentially getting enough to buy your own land or to sort of build up that way as well. You do have energy, so it's not endless. You can't just keep on farming and farming and farming, but potentially the energy is coming through. Now, I don't know if you keep the produce. I assume you don't keep the produce. I assume that goes to the person who owns the land. But still, there's a lot out on the game, but there's still a lot of unknowns. One of the things they've got at the moment is alpha testing. It starts in a few hours from now. Unfortunately, I wasn't lucky enough to get into the alpha testing, but I do have some friends that have got into the alpha testing. So depending on their NDA, we might start to see some footage of the alpha. If not, may get sort of some words in Discord. But let's get back into it. All right, Wanaka itself, it's actually named after a town in New Zealand. So Wanaka, which is in the South Island near Queenstown, is where they've actually sort of taken the name from. Let's go through some of the features that we've got. So we've got this game trailer that we actually had that we're going through. The players are randomly assigned when they start, and they can renovate and decorate. So I don't know if you get your own small piece of land. I know you definitely buy land, but certainly other games like Plants vs Undead and a couple of others, you are getting a small patch with a house, and I'm sort of seeing that is that may be the case, that you may get something super small or certainly a house that you can sort of go on, and then you build out from there. And at least I know you can get decorations and other things. The trading market, so you have the trading market where you're trading your NFTs, changing your produce, and there's two currencies. So there's a in-game currency and an out-of-game token currency, WANA and Y, and that will be explained a little bit later as well. So feed and growing, building and decorating your farm. So yes, I guess I assume you do get your own little cottage or house or homestead, and then you can go combination, crossbreed, and then you can, I don't know if you can crossbreed cows with pigs and things like that. So a bit of crossbreeding, and then sort of sell those or see how they go. Now I know there's also upgrading your farm as well. So as you put in decorations, that's why I think you're seeing the trucks and the and that around. So as you're building or upgrading and decorating your farm, it allows your farm to be able to harvest different types of plants and materials, crops and so forth. So if you just focus all your returns back into redoing the same harvest, your carrots, then you may stay there, but you may get your return just on the fact that you're mass producing carrots versus buying your tractors and you're making the place, enhancing it, and then being able to get the sunflowers or being able to get the apple trees just from the pictures that are in there. So farming with friends, as I talked about before, one of the things that I think is going to be great is not only can you go onto other people's farms that are offering help or asking for help and paying for those services, it looks like, to make sure that they don't, if things need to be watered or that, farm together. That's how I did my leveling in the early days, was actually on other people's farms to get my income in order to build my farm. At Wanaka Farms, the aim to balance two pillars: immerse players in a relaxing Zen playing environment and providing a revenue stream for every player. And that's a nice way to put it. So even if I guess people aren't coming in with a large amount of capital, but they just want to play the game, it appears there may be a low entry point for people that want to come in and play the game, which is nice. There's a lot of great games out there at the moment, but unfortunately they sort of have some bars on the fact that they're quite expensive to get into, especially if the game's been around for a couple of months. Gene mutations. Okay, the roadmap. We finished phase one. We're staking the WANA and the game released. The game released in the browser. So, as I said, alpha testing is starting tonight. So I'd be hopeful that maybe in October we can actually get our hands into the game itself. Would be exciting. All right, let's go on to the ecosystem. Nope, the green paper, not the white paper, the green paper. All right, introducing Wanaka Farms. As we said before, it's an NFT based farming. Wanaka Farm, as we said, is from the South Island of New Zealand, which I showed you on the map. So you can cultivate your plants or you can breed animals. And I think the other one too is it appears to be a large amount. You're certainly still going to have whales in the game as you do for other games, but I think it does look like there's so much diversity in plant and animal life that you may not be able to do everything. So therefore it does create a market where people are actually buying and selling because of the diversities within there as well, unless you have multiple lands, but we'll see where that goes. I do like this one as well, not that I do AR and VR, but in the future, and more specifically with AR and VR technology, they're introducing that into the game as well. So that would be a really nice thing, touch if it works well. The intended audience, as I said, is for relaxing and playing, for those that just want to sort of veg out without the PvP or the PvE, and I think it's a good mix for games. So if you've got a portfolio of NFT games that you're making an income, and this is a game that interests you, it may be something you want to look at I guess it's also about the hours and the return on the investment as well. So if it's a game that you, because of energy, you're only sort of jumping in X amount of hours a day, that could be quite positive as well. The building blocks. So you start each game as yourself, your future farmer. You need to create an account and be distributed in-game avatar, and you begin. Your account will be linked to the wallet, such as your MetaMask, or from where your farm will be stored your in-game and confirm the transactions. Each player will be represented as a farmer, whether you are in DeFi or not. In this beautiful Wanaka, you're represented by the avatar in the game where the player can interact. There you go. To purchase lands, players can go directly to the Wanaka in-game marketplace or the multi-marketplaces such as Mochi Market or the Binance NFT. So people, and we'll say it a little bit later, so land sales are starting on the 26th, and I'll show you some of the land sales, and they don't have the prices yet, but they certainly have the rough prices for the land sales. But what I am seeing there is there will be other opportunities to buy land. So those that are certainly hesitant about buying pre-game release, looks like there's other opportunities. And I did read below that land would also, they'll have opportunities to acquire lands or pockets of lands based on doing tasks or competitions within the games themselves. Other than that, you can actually rent land. But it would just depend on the return on investment for other farmers that have bought up a land and then certainly renting it out, that they aren't able to, I guess, look after the land themselves. Although it is a free market, players are not able to take others from land freely. This is because the land is rented. The transition is carried out through a small contract, therefore providing protection to the landowners by ensuring that the lessees won't be able to resell the lands. There you go. So that's all in there, but you can use the land to put crops on. After the rental expires, that specific land will be returned to the rightful owner at the end of the rental period. There you go. Maybe interesting. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely interested in certainly seeing how that goes. In the initial stages of Wanaka, players will already be able to play both on desktop, mobile phones. Lands in the NFT, we know that, can be attained by participating in events, as I said before, throughout the purchasing in the secondary market of the Wanaka games for people that have bought it during the pre-event and then are selling it off or just want to get out. Each of the land is unique with a respective characteristic. Land characteristics are set randomly, which will define their rarity. And this one's an interesting bit as well. So there's 4 types of land. There's basic land, lake land, forest land, and sea land. However, during the pre-sale, the only land that they're selling is basic land, which is a nice way to also say that, I mean, yes, they're probably developing it still in the background, but the game, not everything's going to come out at the start of the game. So as the game evolves over months and years, new elements are going to come in and new opportunities to potentially buy land are going to come out as well. Other land types will be available after basic land sales. Seasons. Like New Zealand, there's 4 seasons. There you go. Rarities. This is good. So not only have your land, you have 6 rarities: common, uncommon, rare, legendary, mythical, and immortal. And look at immortal. 41 to 50% growing boost. Is that insane? That's crazy. All right, so the in-game assets, we've got land, we said, seeds and growing items, harvesting items, being traded, no problems, production items. So using it to either genetically, so it's the same as, I guess, a real-time farm. So you're taking it, you're producing the seeds to grow more, or you're taking the items, I guess, mixing and blending the items through other things, or single eggs and cheeses and so forth to produce. I don't know what the production of these give you and how they're sold, or whether they're sold for the in-game currency, simply to give you currency. Building items, Are decorations such as fences and roads. These items are acquired through participating through special events. Certain events are likely to have limited edition items as well, such as Christmas, Lunar New Year and Valentine's Day. Players can freely trade on the Wanaka Marketplace to use them to decorate their farm. And I did read later on that decorating the farm is one way to increase the experience level of your farm, which also increases the ability to grow other crops. Land levels, there you go. Experience is acquired through farming, petting. The longer a player spends on a farm, the higher the farm will be. With the new level, the player may unlock. Okay, so I may have missed it. It's when you get the farm, you're getting the farm at level 1, I assume, by reading this, and therefore by working on the farm, you're increasing the level of the farm. It's not a case that you buy one land plot in the pre-sale, open the chest, and it could be immortal. So some of the activities can be done to increase the land levels: are growing, planting trees, irrigating, feed crops, and harvesting. Okay, not a problem. Production house, production facilities, breeding houses, item life cycles. So, as we said before, you take your seed, you grow the item has 3 stages of growth, you harvest the item. From harvesting the item, you can go to the production house to produce your cheeses and so forth, or you can recycle it back to get your seeds. Feed and grow, obviously the food for feeding the animals. And trading. Wanna Trade is Wanaka's farm in-game marketplace where people can trade using the Wanna token. Now the Wanna token is the cryptocurrency that is available on the market. It's available there now, and I guess having a quick look, if we're going to Hercoins, it's currently sitting, it started about 80 cents and it's now up to about $4 per token. So it's already starting to climb, and that's before it comes out. So it'll be interesting to see where it sits. But as it's saying here, the Wanna tokens are traded on the Wanaka Farm markets for land, seed items, growing items, harvesting items. The Wanna shop is where you can purchase seeds and building items using your Wanna tokens as well. So yes, it will be interesting to see. As I said, there's 2 currencies. There's Wanna and Y, and it should be explained a little bit later on where you're using your Y, the in-game currency. The play to earn business model, by giving players ownership in the game, you know that. 2 main pillars: relaxing and earning. Okay, so earning money on Wanaka. The Wanaka Farms are multiple ways by selling their items on Wanaka Trade, which is player to player. Completing quests, participating in competitions, staking your Wanna, contributing to governance of the Dale structure, and lucky lotto awards. As we said, there are 2 currencies, the Wanna tokens and the Y, which is used in the farm ecosystems itself. Y tokens. Y tokens are a native currency inside, I guess, for Wanaka Farms, the second token that's actually used. The total maximum supply is uncapped, but obviously there's a burning mechanism. So you earn Y through completing game quests, staking Wanna, and participating in voting processes. You use Y for breeding fees, for production fees, upgrading your lands, and participating in your lottos. So I guess you're using your Y, but you're going to have a little bit of gas fees with that as well. So we are covering a lot, I know, as we go through. So a couple of things is the staking. So there is staking available at the moment, and it's going to be current. So by staking it in, it's in game. You buy your Wannas, you put it in, and we're staking it for 7 days with a small return, and that's obviously going to, your APR is very small at the moment, but it will certainly increase. So I've done the staking for a couple of reasons. Is one, they're whitelisting for staking. I didn't hit the limit of how many. I needed to do 200 Wanna tokens to potentially get on the whitelist. But if you're not doing anything with the currency, well, it doesn't hurt to stake it and just get a few extra Wanna while you're there as well. Let's just go through. As I said, we've got the alpha test that certainly started. The Discord, as like most of the Discords, is quite active at the moment. They released the trailer this week or over the weekend, and now they've got the land sales. So the land sales themselves on September the 26th. There's 15,000 land. They're holding 500 for themselves, and the other price, or the other land, 10,000 land, they're selling at $180 worth of Wanna tokens. So what they're saying is, because the price of Wanna is going up, it started at 80 cents, it's now sitting around $4. When they get closer to 26th, they will pick the amount and they'll tell you how much. As it said here, they've got those that are staked at least 200 Wanna tokens are eligible to one lottery ticket, and then the lottery ticket they've got 4,500 land that they're going there from staking your 200 tokens, which I didn't, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I didn't have the money at the time. The main sale, which I'm hoping to get into, is the remaining 10,000 basic lands. For all those winners that have been whitelisted, they can still buy. Okay, so the people here, they may have won, they can buy a second piece of land here. I think I've read though, there you go, each person will have a chance to purchase one land. So they're also limiting it from whales, I guess, to go in there and just smash out, because the land is actually relatively cheap. $200 or $180 worth is relatively cheap, and they want people to participate, not just have a whale go in and buy all the land, and therefore everyone is out there sort of just farming and renting land. So every account can purchase one land, and it gives an opportunity for people to go in there, and I think it is going to be quite popular. So we'll certainly be keeping our eye on the 26th, and the 26th is on Sunday. All right, so if you are interested in that, certainly keep that date in mind. Or sit back, watch some more of the gameplays come in, and have a look at it as well. So I think I certainly covered everything there. It was quite a lengthy one, and a lot to take in. I'm very excited about it. I'll certainly get engaged in it. I have reached out to the developers, but I haven't heard back from them. But I assume that they're super busy. As I said, they've got alphas going on at the moment. They've got land sales happening this weekend, and a game just around the corner. So once again, this isn't financial advice. Please do your due diligence if you think this is something you want to get into. I'm very excited about the game, and I am looking forward to it coming out, and certainly looking forward to sort of seeing the new features and videos that are going to come out in the next couple of weeks. So thank you very much. If you've enjoyed the video, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe and the like. If you'd like to see any more on Wanaka or any other videos within NFT gaming, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below. Thank you. Have a great day. Happy gaming, and catch you later. Bye.